For the last 4 years, the Warsaw Tigers have owned the Northern Lakes Conference, and so far 2019 is no different. Doug Ogle's team is 5-0 in league play. But Plymouth is seeing red. The Pilgrims have used a sniper's touch to build a 13-4 record, and they want to snap a 4-game skid against their arch rivals. Basketball's Hatfields and McCoys, Warsaw and Plymouth renew their rivalry next on 46. Looking at the rock, appropriately named because if each team had one, they'd throw it at the other. These two schools do not like each other, and they meet for the 140th time on the hard court tonight as Warsaw faces Plymouth on the 46 game of the week. How you doing, everybody? Between the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby, and it's great to have you with us for what should be an outstanding Northern Lakes Conference game tonight on 46. Bob, the Warsaw Tigers have run this conference for the last 4 years. They're looking for their 5th consecutive league title, 5-0 in the conference coming in, and yet they've done it really the last 2 years without having a star player.
Well, think of all the Division I talent that's gone. Well, there hasn't been any, but the program works, and that's what Doug Ogle has done for a long time. Even when he was a JV coach, runs a solid program. They know where they're supposed to be defensively and offensively. They execute, and they have a good team chemistry, which is really important. And they've got, they don't like each other, but they respect each other a lot.
They definitely do.
That's what's going to be evident tonight because they're both ready to work really hard tonight.
And when you take a look at this Plymouth ball club, when we saw them against Northwood earlier in the year, Bob, Ryan Bales still admitted he didn't have a great feel for his team. Well, they put it together in the month of January. They're 13-4 and in contention for this conference title.
They have some really good outside shooters, and on a given night, they could have 1 or 3, 4, 5 people lead them in scoring. The big thing is the perimeter game is so good that a lot of times when you're shooting a three-pointer, if it doesn't come off, you got a chance to get a rebound because you're not in there looking for a 6'5" guy to make a rebound. Rebounding is an attitude, and they've got it. And they've been able to be successful rebounding. They're going to have to be tonight because Warsaw totally emphasizes not giving up a second chance.
Bo Hunt will be on the sidelines for us again tonight. And Bo, I know you grew up in Bremen, so you don't necessarily have an affinity for either school, but you can appreciate what makes this rivalry so intense.
Well, yeah, when you look at these two teams in this game in particular during the regular season, it usually means something. We were talking earlier, 54 conference titles in the NLC. These two teams own 40 of those conference titles. So you know this game means a lot between these two teams. It means a lot for the conference. So when they go head-to-head, they have that fierce battle for each other. But as Bob said, they have a lot of respect for each other as well.
140th meeting on the hardwood between Warsaw and Plymouth. Bob's been here for about 100 of them. We've got the Jordan Automotive Keys to win next on the 46 game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Thor Industries, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Plymouth as we get ready for Warsaw and Plymouth in the Northern Lakes Conference clash, and it's time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. We'll start with the Warsaw Tigers, who are led by their senior point guard, Nolan Groninger. He's averaging almost 14 points and 4 rebounds a game. He had a season-high 21 the last time out against Elkhart Central, an all-Northern Lakes Conference performer a year ago. He's been getting a lot of help as of late from Trevor Rumpel. You may remember Rumpel in the game we did against Northridge when he had 18 points. He's come back from a foot injury, averaged 9 points and 2 rebounds a game, but he's been a little hampered this week in practice by an ankle injury. They really need him to tough it out tonight and give this team some big minutes. The keys to win for Doug Ogle and the Tigers.
Well, number one, they got to stay in front of the drivers for Plymouth. They've got guys that can drive or they can shoot. They got to make sure that they shoot. That percentage is going to be less than a layup. They've got to be efficient and patient on offense, especially. Got to be slow and deliberate, and they have to execute all their sets and all their plays. They got to clean the glass. They got to compete on every missed shot in this ball game. Doug Ogle in his 17th season really focusing on what his team is doing well.
We started to slow down, and we were just more consistent offensively, and started, getting more shots and fewer turnovers and getting to the free throw line more, things like that. So it's been a pretty steady improvement ascent, and so we'll see how we do tonight.
The seniors in the backcourt for Plymouth have been dynamic this year, and it is led by Clay Hilliard, the 6'1 senior, averaging 20 points a game. He can light it up from three-point range. He's hit 52 from beyond the arc this season, and he's getting a lot of help from his backcourt mate Cole Filson. 6'2", averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds a game. But Filson is one of those tough, strong kids from the Rocky football team that may have to get some stuff done in the paint tonight in order for Plymouth to be effective against Warsaw. The keys to win for Ryan Bales and the Pilgrims.
Well, the number one key is to win the paint game, and that means rebounding and finding a way to take advantage of the fact that one of the big guys from Warsaw probably going to be limited minutes tonight. That's Metzinger. You got to take advantage of that. They got to be willing to work inside out. You got to work through the inside looks first. They always got a chance to shoot from the outside, but take a look at what your head coach has inside. And they got to be tougher. Hey, it's that time of year. You're down to about a half dozen games remaining before the tournament. You got to set your jaw. You got to bow your neck. You got to be as tough as you can be. And head coach Ryan Bales knows his team's in for a big battle with this rivalry between Warsaw and Plymouth.
Well, probably different coming from someone that grew up here. So, for me, the last 8 years, it's been it's different. It's just a different week. Just everybody, fans, the players, myself. You get to a point where you circle this one on the schedule each and every year, and part of it is it's two great programs. Traditionally, way before my time, you had the Coach Yoder, you had Coach Edison, so many great names that have come through Plymouth, and then the Warsaw side, a lot of the same type of coaches and players, and so that's what's made this rivalry what it is, and we're happy to just keep carrying it on, and it continues to be a battle, and Coach Ogle has done an outstanding job, his staff does an outstanding job, and their kids play extremely hard, and so I think that's what makes it a little bit different, that both teams pride themselves on toughness, pride themselves on doing a lot of little things very, very well. You're not going to see a lot of, Division I's, spectacular athletes, but you're going to see a lot of solid teams, a lot of great kids on and off the court that represent their communities and programs really well. So I think that's what continues to carry the torch of this rivalry, and this tonight should be no different. Expect it to be a battle.
It is homecoming here in Plymouth. They just crowned the king and the queen a moment ago, but can they keep Warsaw from getting another Northern Lakes Conference crown? These have been our Jordan Automotive keys to win. The tip-off is next for Queen Julia and the Pilgrims next on 46. TV 46 high school basketball game of the week is being brought to you by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. We wrap up the Wagon Wheel Theater pregame show with Bob Nagel's starting lineups.
First of all, for the Warsaw Tigers, number 3 is Nolan Gruninger. He's a 6-foot senior at a guard, along with Blake Marsh, number 4, 5'11 junior. Wyatt Amos on the outside as well, 5'11 junior. Inside will be Luke Adamek, a 6'4 sophomore, getting the start, and number 41, Jalen Reese, a 6'4 senior. Now for Plymouth, number 12, Clay Hilliard will start at a guard, good shooter, 6'1 senior. Cole Filson, big strong guy inside, 6'2 and a senior. Number 20. Number 24 is Jake Reichert. He's a 6'1 sophomore. Number 14, Bryce Carmichael, 5'11 senior. And Joe Barron gets the start. He is a 6-foot junior. He'll start at a forward for Plymouth.
Plymouth is in white. Warsaw is in black. The 140th renewal of this rivalry is underway at the Rock. And a double tip called against Plymouth, I believe, will give Warsaw the basketball.
Hate it when that happens.
You see John Hirschberger and Justin Vaught talking things over. And indeed, it was a double tap by Plymouth. So Ryan Bales gets the explanation. Warsaw gets the ball. The first quarter brought to us by the Heartland Artist Gallery. And we welcome everybody to the R&B Car Company live stream on Facebook. Warsaw going down low to Groninger, getting bodied up, but going up for 2 points. And Nolan Groninger gets the first basket of the contest.
A lot of contact in there.
Plymouth comes down the floor. Their record 13-4 on the season. They've won 8 of their last 9. Nice spinning move on the inside, and drawing the contact is Filson, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Jalen Reese guilty of the personal foul.
You get another look on our 46 replay. Filson getting hacked on the arm that time by Reese. And so here's Cole Filson at the line. 69% foul shooter, misses the first.
Big foul there for Warsaw because with limited play for Tyler Metzinger tonight, size inside is limited. Reese is a 6'4" senior. He's got a foul early.
Filson misses both free throws. Rebound loose on the floor. And tied up on the alternating possession, it will go to Plymouth. Plymouth 4-1 in NLC play. Their only loss came on the road at Northridge. They beat a very good Elkhart Memorial team in this gym in the month of January. Hilliard goes in but couldn't get the shot off. And here comes Warsaw with Groninger on the run. Blake Marsh, who's been under the weather a little bit, including today, gets the ball outside, and Groninger will set up against the Plymouth man-to-man.
Lee Corso used to say anybody can play when they're healthy, so Marsh giving it a go.
Wyatt Amos trying to lob it down low to Marsh. Now Groninger for 3. Nolan Groninger has all 5 of the points. He has started to heat up in the last 5 games from 3-point range. That's his 7th 3 of the year. And Warsaw out to a 5-0 lead.
Chuck, this is the biggest lead in the game for Warsaw.
Hilliard, and an offensive foul called on Plymouth. It's going to go on Filson for the moving screen.
In football, that's a pretty good move, but call a little tighter here tonight.
So Warsaw already out to the 5-0 lead. Groninger with all 5 of the points. Marsh down low to Reese for the layup, but he missed it. And the rebound pinballs around before Joe Barron comes away with it for Plymouth.
Reese had a real good look, just couldn't finish.
Plymouth has not played since January 26th. That night they beat Mishawaka 65-60. Hilliard couldn't get loose. And now Jake Reichert. This is Hilliard. Plymouth trying to show some patience here against this Warsaw offense. Hilliard has Reese draped all over him. Now goes up and forces one. It won't go, and the rebound comes down to Luke Adamek for Warsaw. Good defensive possession that time for the Tigers. Amos for 3 at the other end is offline, but Marsh gets the one-hand rebound. Amos thought about the 3. Hilliard had him pretty well covered. Marsh gets loose on the wing.
Warsaw likes to clear out that baseline and see if they can get a cutter once in a while in the back door. There's one.
Well, Groninger was open, and now when he catches it, he's double teamed, forced to the floor, and 3-second violation called on Warsaw. They got the ball to him just a touch late.
And it was a good call because, a lot of things people thought, well, maybe he's traveling, maybe it's a foul. He was in there too long, and a good call by our officiating crew, veteran group.
John Hirschberger with the call that time. 3 minutes have gone by. Plymouth yet to dent the scoreboard. Jake Reichert.
Nice.
Now outside for 3. That's good by Filson. Cole Filson, with his 11th three-pointer of the year, gets Plymouth on the board.
Good ball movement there. Created a nice situation.
Marsh. Let's see if he gets a screen from Adamek. No, they decide to run a different play. Groninger trying to cut through, and that left the back door open for Adamek in 2. Luke Adamek, the 6'4 sophomore, getting the start with the injury to Tyler Metzinger. Adamek only averaging 3.5 points a game, but he gets a bucket there.
So many times you want to help on the first cutter. When you do that, you leave that back door open.
That three goes in and out, and the rebound to Amos. So Reichert unable to bury that one. And now Adamek's baseline jumper off the mark, and going high for the rebound was Filson. Hilliard pushing the tempo a little bit. Now Hilliard with an open wing, then he slices through but missed the layup. The rebound to Reese. Tigers on the run. Marsh had a poke from behind, but the foul called on Joe Barron. That's the first on the junior, and Warsaw will go to its bench and send in Trevor Rumpel and Tyler Metzinger.
Not a bad duo to bring off your bench. They'd be starting at most schools. Metzinger normally a starter. If he wasn't injured, he's got a tender ankle.
Plymouth will counter. Thomas Dolan and Joe Stiers check in. Dolan a 6'1 junior, Stiers a 6-foot junior.
Dolan's been a starter in games during the course of the year.
Ryan Bales has used a few different lineups this year, as has Doug Ogle, mainly because of the injury situations that both teams have encountered. Rumpel coming back from a foot injury. Amos inside the arc for two, misfires, and the rebound to Plymouth.
He was in too close, partner.
Hilliard.
You've seen him hit that three.
Hilliard still looking to try to get open, but Amos had him covered that time. 5 outside the arc for Plymouth. Now Reichert slices in and gets the floating jumper. That mid-range jumper will be there if you're patient enough.
Suppose he learned that shot from his sister.
Allie had a terrific tournament for Plymouth, as did that whole Lady Pilgrim team. Reese rejected at the other end by Hilliard. Pilgrims can tie it with a 2, take the lead with a 3. They'll go for the 3. It's short. Offensive rebound, no. Instead, a foul called on Filson, and that's his second. And that's a tough situation for Ryan Bales as you get another look at the Hilliard block from a moment ago. He kept good position on Reese.
Nicely done.
But Filson's going to have to come out with 2 fouls. And so Ryan Bales again goes to his bench and brings in Brayson Lesenby, the 6'2 senior.
Same height, but Filson, a very stout young man, good presence in there physically.
And much more of a scoring presence for them as well. Amos lobs it down. Metzinger with a mismatch inside gets 2. There's nobody even close to the height of Tyler Metzinger on the Plymouth lineup. And so let's see if Warsaw tries to exploit that matchup a lot tonight. That's Lesenby with the basketball. Now Reichert for 3. Not that time, and Adamek gets another rebound. It has been one and done on the glass at the Plymouth end. Here's Groninger trying to work his way in, got triple teamed. Back down low to Amos. He tried to feed the cutter, instead stolen away by Reichert. Behind the back, and then stripped and a foul called on Amos.
First one on Amos. Folks, for limited time only, Papa John's excited to bring back the large Philly cheesesteak pizza for only $12. The Philly cheesesteak is made with Philly sauce, steak from the original cheesesteak company, fresh cut onions and green peppers, Asiago, Fontina, provolone, and cheese made from mozzarella. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. We want to thank Papa John's Pizza Plymouth for feeding our production crew tonight. Did a great job, snuck in some chocolate chip pie and also some brownies. Our crew really appreciated that.
Reichert sneaks in along the baseline and gets the bucket, and the sophomore has 4 to bring Plymouth within 2. Groninger with the high-handed dribble. Metzinger tried to feed Adamek, ball knocked out of bounds by Plymouth. Warsaw retains possession.
Warsaw runs their sets. Metzinger had the ball. He knew right where the cutter was going to be. Plymouth did a good job of getting there to break it up.
Doug Ogle with a ton of out-of-bounds plays that his team will execute regularly throughout practice. Here's Groninger driving the lane. The floater doesn't go, and the rebound out of bounds. It'll be Plymouth basketball.
Groninger made his first two, missed that one.
There's Ryan Bales, 95 North Judson grad, then went to Bethel College and played for Mike Lightfoot in his 8th year here at Plymouth, and has won over 200 games in his coaching career. Deep three for Hilliard is good. The first bucket of the night for the senior, who averages 20 a game, and Plymouth has its first lead.
1 out of 5 in the night, but that was a big one for Plymouth.
Amos to Metzinger, nice pass to Groninger, but maybe one too many. Here comes Lesenby the other way. Hilliard feeling it. Not that time. Rebound comes to Rumpel. Trying to go all the way through. The Euro step wouldn't go. Here's Hilliard. Back and forth we go. The score not necessarily belying the pace. Reichert holding for the final shot. Are they aware of the clock? I don't think so. Hilliard will get it off, but not in time. It was well defended by Groninger, and the first quarter has come to an end. A first quarter dominated by three-point shooting. Warsaw was able to fire the first salvo with Nolan Groninger hitting one from beyond the arc, but then back came the Plymouth Pilgrims. Cole Filson and Clay Hilliard hit a pair of bombs, and the Pilgrims lead it by one after one on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. We promise you sideline reports. Bo Hunt always delivers his reports, brought to us by Bill's Heating. Bo?
I think one of the interesting things with that first quarter, up until that last three, Cole Filson, Warsaw's been really denying him on the perimeter, not letting him get anything on the outside, forcing him to go on the inside. Unfortunately, he missed a couple inside shots, was getting a little frustrated, I could tell out there, but he got open. The second he got open, he hit that first three. Look for a big second quarter out of him if he's able to get open, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bo. And Bob, first quarter numbers probably not too pretty for either side.
Well, scores about even, Chuck. Both teams hit 4 out of 12 from the field, 33%. Good defense can get some credit for that. 2 out of 8 from three-point range for the Plymouth Pilgrims. And for the Warsaw Tigers hit 1 out of 2, so there's a difference in the score, 10-9 right now as we go to the second quarter.
Warsaw starts the quarter with the basketball. Our second quarter brought to us by our friends at Heartland Artist Gallery. On the high post, Groninger, he's getting bounced around a little bit out there and has not had the calls go his way yet.
If he was playing with Mark Curtis and got hit this much, he'd have about 35 yards gain in the field.
He'd also be the option quarterback. Groninger for three. Comes up empty. The rebound, great battle, and Plymouth comes away with it. Thomas Dolan got the rebound, and then a foul called on Jalen Reese running down the floor. When I talked to Ryan Bales this week about this game, one of the things that he emphasized, and we had it in our keys to win, was being tougher and wanting it more. And it showed a little bit on that rebound.
Sure did. Plymouth now with 8 rebounds, Warsaw with 9. And Reese has the foul. That's his second. And Chuck, again, concerns when you're losing guys with size inside for Warsaw.
Kendall Himes in the game now for Plymouth. Reichert with the drive down the lane, but missed the layup. Adamek gets another rebound. He has been a force on the glass tonight for Warsaw. Adamek with the pull-up three. Airballed it. And the rebound goes out of bounds as Jalen Kuhn couldn't save it.
Heartland Artist Gallery, a proud sponsor of Plymouth High School, offering classes for children and adults with the desire to create. Also open to those interested in visual art. Heartland Artist Gallery supports local Marshall County students in providing a senior student award along with monthly exhibits during the year for aspiring artists in the community. Visit them at heartlandartgallery.com for more information. What a great organization.
Thomas Dolan with the basketball for Plymouth. Feeds underneath and the shot blocked. Barron couldn't put it in. Now, what a steal by Hilliard, but he has it knocked away. And here comes Groninger. And Groninger goes all the way for two. Nolan with 7 tonight. He was all NLC a year ago and showing why. Warsaw back up by 1.
You got to feel we're in for a whole night of this, Chuck. 1 point lead here and there.
Hilliard for 3. Clay Hilliard now with 6. He's hit a pair of 3-pointers, 54 on the year now. And Doug Ogle wants a timeout to talk about it. 6:05 to go, first half. Plymouth with its biggest lead of the night at 13-11 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. When we started the night, Clay Hilliard was 15 points away from the 1,000-point milestone. He's hit a couple of threes, so now he is just 9 points away from becoming the 15th Plymouth Pilgrim to score 1,000 points.
Name the other 14.
I can name you the number 1 because
Yeah,
I talked to him this week. His name is Kyle Benj, and we'll discuss him in here in just a moment. Warsaw with the ball, trailing by 2. Wyatt Amos trying for the lead is short. Groninger's tip-in ties us up at 13. He has 9 of those. Beautiful one-hand tip by Groninger. Now Jake Reichard with the ball, kicks it outside to Hilliard. Hilliard got double teamed over in the corner, so he finds the open man. Reichard for 3. He misfires, Metzinger a rebound. Groninger ran into his own man, but the push is called instead against Plymouth. It's going to be on Thomas Dolan. Now, we mentioned Kyle Bench. He's the all-time leading scorer at Plymouth. And I was asking him about the rivalry. He says the greatest moment he had in high school was beating Warsaw to win an NLC title. And the worst moment he had was when Kevin Ault hit a buzzer beater against him in the regional to beat him. Says he still has the picture of him bawling on the sideline after that game. But then Kyle laughed and said, and the worst part of my job now as the head coach at LaPorte, our colors are orange and black.
Reached with the miss, but didn't follow with the foul, which was good. He's got 2.
Plymouth looking for the lead. Have one more bench story I'll share at the next dead ball, but Kyle would want the focus to be on the guys playing now, and Hilliard was short on that 3, but an offensive rebound for Plymouth. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Reichard back outside. Barron got the ball down low, and a foul called on Groninger. So Benj's sophomore year was Doug Ogle's first year at Warsaw, and Benj had a unique shooting style, shall we say. And some of the Warsaw players in film study were kind of laughing at it. Doug didn't say anything. They came over here to play the game. Benj had 12 points in the first quarter, and at the first quarter timeout, Mr. Ogle said to his team, well, Mr. Benj just stuffed 12 on you in the first quarter. You still think he's funny?
Tremendous leader, tremendous scorer.
By the way, Warsaw came back to win the game.
That's why he cried.
13-13, midway through the second. Lesenby with the basketball. Now a spinning drive for Dolan, and he hits. Thomas Dolan, the 6'1 junior, with his first bucket of the game. He had 9 against Mishawaka the last time out. That's a career high for him.
4 players in the scoring column now for Plymouth.
Marsh trying to direct traffic with Groninger on the bench, and Marshall launched the 3 and miss. Adamek tipped the rebound, but it went out of bounds, and Plymouth gets the ball. So Marsh misses on the 3, and out comes Dolan, and back in goes Lesenby. Metzinger will come in for Warsaw.
Folks, check out wagonwheelcenter.org for upcoming shows in the summer season. 17 shows and concerts highlight the next 7 months, including Vicki Lawrence and Mama. Singing in the Rain, Oklahoma, and many more. Go to wagonwheelcenter.org for dates and tickets.
Reichard with the basketball for Plymouth. Now he finds the open man, Tim Tremaine, into the game, and he can't hit. And the rebound to Trevor Rumpel for Warsaw. Rumpel for three. That's good.
Well, what a lift he has been, huh?
That's his 16th three of the year. He had 5 of those in the game we did against Northridge, and he gives Warsaw the 1-point lead. Who can step up and do some scoring now for Plymouth? Will it be Reichard? He misfires on that three-pointer, but another offensive rebound for the Pilgrims.
Well, Doug Ogle hates those.
He mentioned that to you directly this week. Reichard finds the open man. That's Tremaine. He is now 6 out of 9 from three-point range this year. And Tim Tremaine puts Plymouth back on top. Metzinger really struggling to get open. Now Rumpel again for three, but that hit the back iron. Metzinger the putback for 2.
Marsh knocked it loose. Metzinger picked it up and finished.
All knotted up at 18, just what you would expect between these two old rivals who've been playing since 1914. Warsaw with an 83-56 lead in the series overall.
Real chess match going on down there. Really enjoying it.
And lots of role players getting their chance to shine tonight. We've seen buckets this quarter from Dolan and Tremaine for Plymouth. Those aren't people you necessarily count on to be big scorers, but they've hit some good shots. Tremaine with the dribble, and he was fouled by Rumpel.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The team at IFT is proud of their efforts, setting the standard for research and development. IFT and the teams in this game working toward the same goal, and that is a great finish.
All kinds of substitutions. That's Jalen Kuhn checking into the game now for Warsaw. Hilliard came back in. Here's Barron trying to go in strong, and he got leveled.
Good tackle. It's happened before.
Call the foul on Wyatt Amos. That's his second. We'll get another look at the foul that was committed against Joe Barron as the 48% free throw shooter and the IFCA Junior All-State quarterback goes to the line.
Heartland Artist Gallery in Plymouth is a nonprofit group with the purpose of encouraging and supporting local artists. They offer classes to children and adults. They also support the schools by providing an award to a Marshall County High School senior going on to further their art education. Heartland Artist Gallery, proud to support all future student artists. Heartland Artist Gallery on Michigan Street in Plymouth.
Barron, 1 of 2 at the stripe, becomes the 6th Plymouth player to score in the first half. Marsh behind the back. Groninger underneath for 2. Boy, Nolan Groninger may only be 6 feet, but he is posting people up here in the first half, and he's got 11.
You've got a good outside shot, and yet you can get inside, play with the big kids.
Now Lesenby lost the handle. Barron recovers and knocked out of bounds by Marsh.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender and sponsor of our halftime feature coming up in less than a minute.
Plymouth will take a 30-second timeout with 49.6 seconds left. The pace of this one reflective of the kind of defense that Warsaw has played all year. Check out the defensive teams in the area. Roger Grossman, the Argus Dragon alum, was bragging about his team a little bit earlier tonight. Why not? The Argus 35.7 points per game. Trinity at 36.3. Westview at 42.5. There you see Warsaw at 42.9. And I'll tell you, all 4 of those teams on the top of that list have winning records. You play good defense, you win.
And I'm thinking that a lot of those teams in that list, other than Warsaw, have not played this caliber schedule that Warsaw has. So there's reasons why the scoring is a little bit lower, but again, good defense, partner. It's always it's one of those things you can count on. Defensive intensity, rebounding by position, and then making your free throws.
So a 2019 Warsaw lead with 49.6 seconds left in the half. You see the story on the Thor Industries scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. Barron triggers the inbound to Reichert. Reichert has a lane to drive, but instead pulls it back out for Hilliard. Will Plymouth play for one shot? That appears to be Ryan Bale's strategy.
Well, if you're interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka, Beacon Sports Performance. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit the website at beaconhealthandfitness.org. Do it today.
Doug Ogle wanted a 5-second count. Instead, Adamek knocked the ball away. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Warsaw. Plymouth will get the basketball.
Well, they wanted to run it down to the last shot.
Oh, wait a minute. They've changed the call now. And they say it's Warsaw basketball.
Ryan Bale's not too happy with that. It's one of the very few turnovers in the first half for Plymouth. They've done a good job. Warsaw has 2 with just 3.
Roninger to Marsh for 3. Blake Marsh with a big three-pointer at the end of the first half. And Warsaw will take a 4-point lead to the locker room at 23-19. Bo Hunt with a Bills Heating sideline report has Doug Ogle in his sights, and he's standing by now with the Warsaw head coach.
Doug, you're going into halftime up by 4. Just your thoughts on you guys' performance in that first half. Very tough battle.
Well, Plymouth's defense is good, Bo. We're not shooting very well, and we can't get an offensive rebound. But Purdy, that last possession there, executed well and on defense and then on offense. So for as bad as we've shot, I feel pretty good about being up 4, honestly.
Pace of the game really concern you at all?
You know, it's typical NLC Plymouth-Warsaw game. Both teams very physical. Points are hard to come by. So see what happens here in the second half.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Bo.
Back to you guys.
All right, stick around, everybody. We'll meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week after a 3-point shooting barrage in the first half finds Warsaw up 5-4 on 46.
We welcome you back to Plymouth High School as we get a chance to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, once again, a couple of outstanding members of their student bodies, their respective schools. And joining us is Clay Hilliard from Plymouth High School, and also from Warsaw High School is Remy Beckham. And Remy, first of all, congratulations on being singled out for the award. You've done a great job in the classroom, and with about 15 other sports you're involved with. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk about what it takes to get that done. You're busy all year round. You're involved in cross country, you're involved in track and field, and you're also involved in gymnastics. That's quite a resume.
Yeah, I think time management is number one, and just taking each day by day and not worrying too much about everything.
Now, I was reading your resume. It says you want to be a heptathlete at Butler University, which involves 8 sports, right?
Yeah, 7.
7, like I said, 7. I didn't study Greek, but 7 different events at the same time and 2-day process. How much preparation goes into that? People, I don't think, have any idea about all the different type of events you're involved with.
Yeah, I think it starts years in advance when you just are involved in a lot of different events in track. And I think over time, just completing each one and competing at different meets, I think overall you just get to where you're at.
Is golf part of that? No, I know it is. Hey, give a shout out to people in your life that have been on your team and helped you be successful.
Yeah, my parents, family, and all coaches, just everyone who's ever supported me.
Well, we all wish you the best of luck at Butler. Congratulations on all your great success.
Thank you.
Remy Beckham from Warsaw High School. And now we turn our attention over here to Clay Hilliard. Clay is at Plymouth High School, where he plays basketball, of course, and also involved in tennis. And do you have a favorite there?
Basketball for sure is my favorite.
That's going to be part of your future as well. You talk about where you're going to school and what you plan to do.
I'm going to Mount Vernon Nazarene University next year, and I plan to major in sports management.
You're going to play basketball?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to get a chance to play against teams like Bethel and Grace and Goshen, teams we're familiar with. That's a really good conference.
Yes, it is, very.
What got you through your high school years as far as taking care of business and having priorities for getting your work done?
It's just a matter of learning when to have fun and when to get your schoolwork done. Once you learn the difference between those two, then it's pretty easy.
Give a shout out to people on your team that have been behind you.
All the seniors, Cole, Bryce, Tim, Tremaine, they've been behind me since freshman year. And then also the rest of the guys as well. And coaches have been very supportive of me.
How about at home?
My mom and dad, definitely for sure. They're always taking care of me and helping me out and doing the most they can do to provide for me.
Making sure you get your work done.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. Congratulations, Clay, on all your success. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Clay Hilliard from Plymouth High School, and also joining us from Warsaw High School, Remy Beckham. So we want to thank them and congratulate them again. Remind you that our report is brought to you by TCU. They invite you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We've got halftime stats and highlights coming up in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter. Halftime here at Plymouth with Warsaw on top of the Pilgrims by a count of 20-3-19. The dance marathon going on down below, and there have been plenty of good moves in the first half by these two teams.
You know, Warsaw gets off to a 5-0 lead, and you're wondering, you know, is this going to be, but Plymouth answered back. A couple of key situations in the first half where people got their second foul, had to sit down. Both coaches have gone to the bench, got pretty good results. Right now it's a 4-point game, but three-pointer at the buzzer made it a 4-point game. So I think we're seeing what we thought we would see, a good chess match, a good hard-fought game, and a low scoring.
Plenty of highlights to show you from the first half, so let's show you how it got to be this way, because Warsaw jumped out to the early lead. Nolan Groninger hitting from beyond the arc. As he got the three-pointer there, finally Plymouth would come back and get on the board with a Cole Filson three-point shot. Down low, Jalen Reese denied by Clay Hilliard. That was probably the big defensive play of the first half. Hilliard then hit a three down at the other end, and Plymouth was suddenly in the lead, but it was short-lived because Groninger was unstoppable going to the dish. Hilliard hit a couple of threes in the first half and then started to get some help from the reserves. Thomas Dolan with a pretty spin move there, but Trevor Rumpel a key three here. This gave Warsaw a brief lead. Plymouth would come back, grab the lead on a Tim Tremaine three, but right before the first half buzzer, Blake Marsh, three in the corner, that's three in the spotlight, and Warsaw leads it by 4 at the intermission. The numbers, Bob, fairly even except in one big category.
Yeah, the rebounding favored Warsaw, and they got 3 of those on the offensive end in the second quarter, so that was big for them. They lead in rebounding 18-13. Field goal percentage favoring Warsaw as well, as they shot 41%, Plymouth 30%. Plymouth made one more three-pointer. No free throws for Warsaw yet. There's been plenty of contact out there. Nolan Groninger will tell you that. But we've got a pretty even game, and it really is what we thought it would be. And a lot of implications tonight about the Northern Lakes Conference and who's going to win that. Chuck, one of the things I liked at halftime, you're talking about names like Tremaine, and you're talking about Dolan for Plymouth. And for Warsaw, we were talking about Metzinger coming in there and doing a good job, and Marsh with the three-pointer. A lot of the big names get a lot of publicity, but in a game like this, you're looking for guys that can step up and help, and they're getting it on both sides.
Who will be a hero and perhaps propel their team towards the Northern Lakes Conference Championship? We'll find out over the next 16 minutes. Warsaw with a 23-19 lead right now on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 23-19, Warsaw with the lead. So what kind of adjustments does Plymouth want to make in the second half? Let's find out from Bo Hunt. He's got a Bills Heating sideline report.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Ryan, and first off, I asked him about Filson with the 2 fouls. He said, yeah, that really hurt, having him out the whole second quarter. It's going to be good to get him back in the lineup here in the second half. Said we really didn't pass the ball and move the ball very well, and we didn't have some guys step up that really needed to. And I talked to him about the defense that Warsaw is playing on Hilliard, and he said, you know, that he's going to get that. He just needs to come off screens better, and he needs to get to the hoop a little bit better as well. Guys?
All right, thank you very much, Bo, and a very effective dance marathon here at Plymouth High School, where they raised almost $45,000 for Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis, and certainly congratulations to the entire Plymouth community for the contribution to that great organization.
A lot of good excitement too. The students really into it. They're out dancing at halftime, but they're passing around the bucket before the ball game, and I gave them a $5 and took $8 and change. But
you do what you have to do.
no, it was great. Happy to throw a couple bucks in there for them in the effort, and just love to see that kind of spirit. And both these schools, so proud of their student bodies and things they get involved with. Salute to both schools.
Our thanks to R&B Car Company for sponsoring our Facebook live stream tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Heartland Artist Gallery sponsors our third quarter tonight with Plymouth beginning with the basketball, trailing by 4.
By the way, Ryan Bales has been without the sport coat since really the outset, but Doug Ogle looking like he shopped at the Bear Bryant collection with the houndstooth, looking very sartorial tonight.
Excuse me?
I'll explain to you later.
Oh, thank you. Hilliard lost the handle on the spin move, and here comes Warsaw.
Evens up the turnovers at 3 apiece. I only bring that up because we're in the third quarter, and there have only been 6 turnovers in the whole ball game.
Well-executed game despite some good pressure defense from both sides. Wyatt Amos with the dribble now for Warsaw. Jalen Reese for 3. Back iron, but the rebound of Marsh. Second opportunity here for the Tigers. Can they take advantage? Showing a lot of patience here on their first possession of the third quarter.
Warsaw Tiger basketball loves an offensive rebound, don't they?
Ever since the Jim Miller era. Adamek, great pass down low. Reese lost the handle. And then a foul called against Plymouth. They'll call it against Bryce Carmichael. That's his first. And Warsaw will have to inbound from underneath its offensive basket.
Pretty nice passing going on right there by Warsaw. That's good basketball.
Groninger has Adamek down on the low block. Adamek's shot is short, and the rebound comes down to Plymouth. Good bound by Carmichael that time. Ryan Bales wants his team to pick up the tempo a little bit. Instead, they threw it away, and Warsaw knocked it out of bounds.
Warsaw with 19 rebounds. Plymouth now with 15.
The Tigers looking for their 5th consecutive NLC title. Hilliard, though, with a bomb that's off the mark. Here's Reese with the rebound.
Good looking shot. Hilliard on the night. 2 out of 9.
Told me before the game, this is one of those games that you circle as soon as you see the schedule. And it eats away at Plymouth's players, especially these seniors, that they've never beaten Warsaw in basketball. Reese. Now Amos down low. Amos for 3. And Wyatt Amos hits his first three-pointer of the night. The 5'11" junior shooting 47% from three-point range, and a timeout called by Plymouth. 5:43 to go in the third. Warsaw with its biggest lead of the night as they're up by 7 on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at the Rock. 26-19, Warsaw on top of Plymouth. And Plymouth's offense really struggling in the opening part of the first quarter tonight, and now in the opening part of the third as Nolan Groninger steals the inbounds pass and rifles in 2 of his 13 on the night. Another steal for Groninger, another basket, and the bump.
You just spent a timeout, you might need another one, but you sure don't want to take it.
And all of a sudden, Warsaw up by double digits after a masterful defensive stance by Groninger.
5 shots here in the third quarter for Warsaw, just 1 for Plymouth.
He hits the free throw sponsored by R&B Car Company. It's 31-19 in favor of the Tigers.
First free throw for Warsaw tonight.
Hilliard with a stop and go move, and he got hammered on the way in, no call.
A lot of contact tonight. They let them play. Been consistent both ends.
Amos hits a three, and all of a sudden, Warsaw's opened up a can here on Plymouth. Timeout by the Pilgrims. Listen to the Tiger faithful.
Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan. As the largest RV manufacturer in the world, and with 16 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we've got a spot for you in our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com to get started. Do it today.
Defense leads to offense here for Warsaw. Watch Wyatt Amos here work over Hilliard. He'll come in, gets credit for the block, no foul called, and then down at the other end, it was Amos who delivered the dagger, the three-pointer, and suddenly what was a 4-point lead at halftime in less than 3 minutes is a 15-point ball.
And that is a 15-0 run, by the way, for Warsaw to blow this thing to a 15-point lead. Now, Plymouth's got the shooters from the outside. They put threes up in a hurry, but they've turned the ball over a little bit, and the rebounding really favoring Warsaw now.
Have to get stops as well, and they just haven't had very many of those as of late. As you take a look at Ryan Bales trying to solve this puzzle that is the Warsaw Tigers. And, well, good luck, because not too many in the Northern Lakes Conference have solved it. They have won 31 of their last 33 conference games.
Chuck, one of the things, too, with Warsaw up by 15, the place has gotten noticeably a little bit quieter.
Carmichael. Now Hilliard. Reichert. Reichert put on a move and got Filson open, but he couldn't hit the shot. That's been the story of the night for Plymouth. Meanwhile, Marsh races the other way and gets it to Amos for three. And Wyatt Amos will not miss in the third quarter. He's hit 3 threes here in the stanza, and Warsaw is nearly doubling up Plymouth.
Ryan Bales talking to the official. You ever seen a team this hot? Maybe that's not what he was saying.
Hilliard. And now Reichert. Reichert is fouled on the way in, and we'll see who they call this on. It's on Groninger, but let's look and see what the Plymouth fans might have been moaning about on the previous play. Here's Marsh. He tosses the ball, catches it himself.
Might have been a double dribble there or travel.
It was something. I'm not sure it was legal, but it was something.
Yeah, Lou Holtz will be run out of day. If that's legal, we're going to run it.
Meanwhile, Filson tries to drive the baseline, and he's fouled by Metzinger. First on Tyler, and it'll send Cole Filson, the 69% shooter, back to the line where he's 0 for 2 tonight.
Folks, for a limited time only, Papa John's is excited to bring back the enlarged Philly cheesesteak pizza for only $12. The Philly cheesesteak is made with Philly sauce, steak from the original cheesesteak company, fresh cut onions and green peppers, Asiago, Fontina, provolone, and cheese made from mozzarella. Better ingredients means better pizza. Papa John's. We want to thank Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth. They fed our production crew tonight, did a great job. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's.
Metzinger all alone for the dunk.
Number 45, Tyler Metzinger.
The big fella has 6. The defense for Warsaw has been spectacular again tonight. Look how far out they're forcing Plymouth to start its offense. Dolan got loose underneath for 2. He has 4. But Plymouth's big shooters, Reichert and Hilliard, are well covered.
Remember Doug Ogle earlier this week said we've got to stay in front of the drivers. If they've got to shoot to beat us, we can live with it, but they haven't been able to get to the basket.
Meanwhile, Reese inside the arc. He cannot hit, and the rebound comes to Plymouth. Reese nearly knocked the ball away. Open in the corner is Reichert for 3, but that one goes awry. Offensive rebound loose, and it comes to Plymouth. Filson goes to work on Metzinger and scores. Filson now leads the Pilgrims with 7, but they're still down by 14.
that they missed in that second quarter. You heard Ryan Bales talk about it.
Metzinger can't hit, and a push-off foul called against Groninger of Warsaw.
Warsaw foul number 3, Nolan Groninger.
And that is the third on Nolan.
Third.
Well, here's another look at the Metzinger dunk. Somebody fell asleep on the press, and Reese identified the open man.
Looked like Ron Sissel back in '82 throwing that length of the floor pass.
Groninger put his hands up for the touchdown as soon as Metzinger made the catch.
Man, of course, Ron Sissel, remember that '82 state championship team at Plymouth? What a ball club.
Ball being batted around. Hilliard has it right now. Thomas Dolan, well guarded by Kuhn.
Plymouth like to just get this down to single figures before the end of the third quarter if they can.
Absolutely. Here's Barron running inside and drawing contact. He'll go to the line for 2.
Heartland Artist Gallery, a proud sponsor of Plymouth High School, offering classes for children and adults with the desire to create. Also open to those interested in visual art. Heartland Artist Gallery supports local Marshall County students in providing a senior student award along with monthly exhibits during the year for aspiring artists in the community. Visit them at heartlandartgallery.com.
You see Metzinger checking back in for Adamek after Barron misses the first. Barron 1 out of 3 at the stripe tonight. Joe only averages 2 points a game. And he's got his average, and he'll come out as Joe Stiers checks in.
Plymouth with some full court pressure, going to need some bodies out there. They've been going to the bench quite a bit.
They've taken a 19-point lead down to 13. But can they get close enough to make a serious run at Warsaw? Marsh and the Tigers will be patient, I'm sure. Metzinger down low, had the ball knocked away, and a foul called on Joe Barron. Excuse me, not on Joe Barron. It'll be on Jake Riker, 24, not 34.
Well, the threes have been a real killer in the ball game for Plymouth, and again, pretty good distribution by Warsaw. Who's shooting them and who's making them? But Wyatt Amos, wow. 3 out of 3 in the third quarter.
Those 9 points looming very large right now in this game. Amos not in there right now. But Warsaw has other weapons. Jalen Kuhn being one of them. He's got the left-hand dribble. Marsh got tied up, but hung on to the ball and then found the cutter, and that was Rumpel underneath for 2. Hilliard has it knocked away.
Lead back to 15.
Hilliard short on the shot. He felt like he got fouled by Marsh, and it's an air ball and out of bounds to Warsaw.
I thought he got fouled as well, Chuck. I thought there was going to be a call.
We had a really good angle from up here, and he certainly took contact on the arm. A minute 10 to go, third quarter, a quarter that has been explosive for the Warsaw Tigers. Kuhn for 3. And an over-the-back call on Jalen Reese, his third.
Jalen Kuhn had a good look. Folks, check out wagonwheelcenter.org for upcoming shows and the summer season. 17 shows and concerts highlight the next 7 months, including Vicki Lawrence and Mama, Singing in the Rain, Oklahoma, and many more. Go to wagonwheelcenter.org for dates and tickets.
Always great shows over there in Warsaw at the Wagon Wheel. Final minute of the third quarter. Can Plymouth make a surge? Pilson nearly lost the ball out of bounds. Reichert with Rumpel all over him. Reichert works inside. Metzinger blocks the shot. Here's a 2-on-1 for Warsaw, and Rumpel will finish strong.
Number 15, Trevor Rumpel.
Warsaw executing well at both ends of the court. And they're up by 17.
Warsaw 8 out of 13 here in the third quarter, Chuck, and quite a few of those have been layups or slam dunks.
They had 23 points in the first half. They've had 20 here in the third quarter, and another Plymouth turnover. Metzinger and the Tigers will just hold the ball to exterminate the third quarter, and they're just about ready to exterminate the Plymouth Pilgrims as well. The emotions running high inside the Rock tonight, but it's Warsaw running high on the scoreboard. They lead it by 17 after 3 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Well, Bob Nagel asked during the break what happened to our ball game. That's a good question for our sideline reporter, Bo Hunt, with the Bills Heating sideline report. Uh-oh, what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. It was Amos and Groninger there for that little stretch, 3 threes and 2 steals by Groninger and a putback and a 3-point play. Those, what was it, 14 points in about a 3.5 minute span. That's what happened to this game. They just broke it open. And I tell you what, it was the intensity that Warsaw came out with in the second half. It just felt like they wanted it more and they were more in sync. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. It was their whole team. They were feeding off of each other as the quarter was going on, guys.
It's like Wile E. Coyote came out with the TNT plunger and just boom.
5 block shots for Warsaw in the ball game now, 2 for Plymouth. Plymouth has 6 turnovers now, had 2 in the first half. Warsaw had 3 in the first half. They still have 3 for the ball game, and they're leading on the boards now 25-18. 7 rebound advantage. Warsaw shooting nearly 50% from the field and from 3-point range at 42%. Plymouth 29 and 21.
Rumpel chose a bad shot that time, and Plymouth will try to make him pay as underneath it's Thomas Dolan with a reverse layup for 2. Dolan with 6 tonight.
Dolan's trying to get back in that starting lineup.
Marsh double teamed in the corner. And an offensive foul on Blake Marsh.
Warsaw foul number 4, Blake Marsh.
We've seen plays with less contact not be called tonight, but
nevertheless, Plymouth will take the basketball trailing by 15.
Plymouth in need of one of those 9-2 runs or something, just to make it workable, get it down with about 5-6 minutes to go.
Reichard to Hilliard. He's been quiet in the second half, but he gets fouled here by Groningen. And he'll have the chance to go to the line as it's 1 in the bonus the rest of the way here for the Pilgrims.
And that's number 4, I think, on Groninger. No, they called it on Marsh. His second.
Clay Hilliard is an 87% free throw shooter.
The bonus.
And he has 7 points now. He was an all NLC #1 doubles tennis player this year. Committed to go to Mount Vernon Nazarene, as you saw at halftime.
You'll see him playing against a lot of our local teams like Bethel, Goshen, Grace College. Great member of that basketball league.
Amos on the dribble finds Marsh inside the arc. Marsh's winning jumper is no good, and Plymouth gets the rebound. So here come the Pilgrims with a chance to chisel their way back into this. Less than 7 minutes. Hilliard short on that shot, and Groninger gets the rebound and then gets fouled by Lesenby.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The team at IFT proud of their efforts setting the standard for research and development. IFT and the teams in this game working toward the same goal. That is a great finish.
And
Chuck, you know who's excited about next week's game? Jim Hammer, an Adams graduate.
We're excited to be over there as well. Wyatt Amos finally misses a 3-pointer, and the rebound comes down to Plymouth. And I believe I referred to Brayson Lesenby. I think Ivan Winkle is wearing 40 tonight for Plymouth. Here's a drive down the lane by Cole Filson for 2. Filson leading the Pilgrims with 9. Down to an 11-point game. It is not over yet. Reach-in foul that time by Filson. And that's his third.
Pilgrim foul number 20.
One of the things you want to do if you're Plymouth as well is to make sure up to that situation where you force the free throws late in the game. You don't want to be having to give up 2 or 3 fouls.
Timeout, Warsaw.
So a timeout with 6:11 to go. Warsaw still leads by 11 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. We've got a midweek treat for you next week on 46. In prime time on Wednesday night, we'll show you the Tuesday night clash between Tippecanoe Valley and Northwood. Tippy Valley's been playing really well as of late. Chad Patrick, the head coach there, has got a 3-game win streak. Northwood had a 6-point lead on Memorial at halftime tonight. We'll see if Aaron Wolf's team can get that upset. And we'll see those two teams who could meet in the sectional down the road Wednesday night at 6 on 46.
We had both those teams earlier in the year, and our comment, I think, on the way home from those games, or from that game, was that we thought they would both be better by the end of the season. They had some good young people, and we know they're well coached. They're coming along at the right time.
Meanwhile, here at the Rock, 43-32, Warsaw on top of Plymouth with 6:11 to go in regulation. Good crowd on hand here in Plymouth tonight. Not quite as full as it used to be during the Al Rhodes, Jack Edison days. Nevertheless,
the side of the bleachers that you can't see where our cameras are located is much fuller than the other side, but a good crowd here tonight. A lot of folks drove over from Warsaw.
A lot of people sitting on the camera side because they're in the witness protection program and don't want to be seen. Jalen Reese with the basketball for Warsaw. Now Luke Adamek and Wyatt Amos. Amos, a standout receiver on the football team this year for Bart Curtis. And now Groninger, who has 16 points in this one tonight. And he's short on the shot. The rebound comes to Hilliard, looking for a breakout. Amos got down the floor, though, and forced the turnover. Groninger comes the other way and draws contact. He'll go to the line for 2. Free throw sponsored by R&B Car Company.
A lot of bumping and grinding going on out there. Second foul called tonight on Jake Reichert.
Nolan, a 75% free throw shooter, scoring above his average so far tonight as he has 16. He averages 14, and he missed that free throw.
Warsaw has not been to the line much tonight.
No, they have not. He hits that one. Plymouth goes to the bench. Tim Tremaine and Joe Barron check back in. Fourth quarter tonight brought to us by Heartland Artist Gallery.
The 3-pointer by Plymouth here would cut it to single digits with over 5 minutes to go. That would be doable.
Reichert kicks it outside. There's the 3 on the way, but it's offline.
Good looking shot.
Here's Marsh at the other end. Groninger tripped over the basketball, and a travel is called.
Doug Ogle thinks maybe he was tripped.
I think he tripped himself. We'll see here on the 46 replay. Yeah, nobody got him. He just fell over his own 2 feet, which I'm familiar with.
Well, I remember tripping over the foul line a couple of times in my great basketball career.
I thought that was your bowling career.
Hey, now.
Clay Hilliard gets to go to the line for 1 in the bonus, and this will be the way that Plymouth will have to try to get its way back in the game, scoring points with the clock stopped.
And that is the 4th foul on Groninger.
Actually, they called it on Marsh, and that's his 3rd. So Hilliard now with 9 points.
Getting close, partner.
He needed 15 coming in to get to 1,000 for his career. And Plymouth has cut a 19-point lead at one point down to 10. The time an enemy of the Pilgrims right now with less than 5 minutes to go. Good passing by Warsaw that time.
He showed good patience. The count was about 7 or 8 when they got it across the mid-court stripe, but that's plenty of time.
Wyatt Amos directing traffic from up top. Hilliard trying to harass him into a mistake. Adamek. Reese, and they'll call a blocking foul on Hilliard.
Pilgrim foul number 12, Clay Hilliard. His first.
So that'll put Jalen Reese at the line. That's not a bad guy to foul if you're Plymouth. He's only a 58% free throw shooter. Free throw sponsored by R&B Car Company.
More fresh legs coming in for Plymouth. Tim Tremaine checking back in.
Reese has not scored yet tonight.
Barron is also back in there.
Jalen, a Champions of Character winner, could not hit the free throw, and now here comes Plymouth. Hilliard for 3, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point game.
Hey, Bo, we found the game. It's back.
And now the Plymouth students start to get revved up. Adamek. Groninger split the defense. Amos, ooh, he thought about pulling the trigger on a 3, decided not to. And then another foul called on Hilliard. Now Wyatt Amos is not the one that you want to foul. He is a 94% free throw shooter as you take a look at the 3-pointer by Hilliard at the other end.
Heartland Artist Gallery in Plymouth is a nonprofit group with the purpose of encouraging and supporting local artists. They offer classes to children and adults. They also support the schools by providing an art award to a Marshall County High School senior going on to further their art education. Heartland Artist Gallery, proud to support all future student artists. Heartland Artist Gallery on Michigan Street in Plymouth.
A rare free throw missed by Amos, and then a foul at the other end on Amos. And that'll put Tim Tremaine at the free throw line.
His third, team's ninth. Tim
The
Tremaine.
third foul on Wyatt Amos. As you look at Tremaine get tripped there by Amos underneath. And so Tremaine, an 83% free throw shooter, 6'1" senior with a chance to cut the lead down to maybe even 5.
Well, he's getting some good effort off the bench. Both teams have, but Tremaine's done a really good job.
Tremaine, a pitcher on the baseball team. His career high, 6 points this year against Riley. But he's got 5 tonight, and it's a 5-point game with 3:44 to go. Dolan checks back in, Tremaine checks out. Full court pressure by the Pilgrims.
13-3 run right now for Plymouth.
And Groninger gets fouled.
Pilgrim foul number 40, Ivan Winkle.
So Ivan Winkle called for the foul. That's his second and the 10th on Plymouth. So that means double bonus the rest of the way for Warsaw. Groninger takes free throws sponsored by R&B Car Company. And Nolan misses that one. Warsaw, normally a 71% free throw shooting team, has suddenly gone stone cold at the charity stripe.
I think as a head coach, Doug Ogle was trying to say, hey, you guys work through this, handle this. There's a late whistle.
And another foul called on Hilliard. That's his third.
Number 12, Clay Hilliard, his third.
Ryan Bales questioning John Hirschberger on the call.
Line for the double bonus.
Grant, as you said, Chuck, a very good free throw shooter on the season, struggling here in the fourth quarter.
Nolan swishes that one in. His 18th point of the night. It's still a 2-possession game. Makes them both. 19. Remember, his career high came last year on 46 against Northwood when he scored 22 against the Panthers in a Warsaw win. Hilliard. Now Tremaine. Tremaine down the lane, kicks it outside. Hilliard got Groninger up in the air, but couldn't make anything happen, and instead Rumpel gets the steal.
Heads up play there by Rumpel. Defense had the player for Plymouth in trouble. He knew he was going to have to give it up, and he got there just in time.
Rumpel trying to draw some contact there. Rumpel is a very good free throw shooter. They don't want to foul him, and he's just dribbling around in circles. Groninger and Rumpel would be content to play catch for the last 2:36, and a foul called on Joe Barron.
Pilgrim foul number 34.
Rumpel, an 88% free throw shooter, taking more free throws, sponsored by R&B Car Company.
And again, getting back to what Warsaw is doing and not calling timeout, not trying to be in a panic mode when they made some turnovers. That adds to the kind of the motivation going on for Plymouth. So Doug Ogle let him play through it a little bit, and they're handling pretty good now and lead back up to 8 points.
Rumpel, a volunteer for Feed My Starving Children, member of the National Honor Society, and a BMX rider. Hits both free throws. He now has 9. And a timeout taken by Warsaw. 2:35 to go in regulation. The Tigers have the lead back up to 9 on 46. The TV 46 high school basketball game of the week is being brought to you by Teachers Credit Union. Grow your future. Visit tcunet.com. The implications of this game are huge in the Northern Lakes Conference. Warsaw trying to clinch at least a share of its 5th straight title. Plymouth trying to get a win and get right up there with the Tigers, who still have to play Elkhart Memorial on February 19th.
Well, remember early in the season, it looked like Memorial might be the odds-on favorite to win the NIC, or NLC rather. They are having a great season and looking ahead to the tournament like everybody else, but when this Warsaw team comes out, it's a great program under Doug Ogle, and they execute very well.
Memorial came from behind tonight to beat Northwood 57-46. So they are still in the conference race as well. The pass knocked away by Warsaw. Metzinger goes on the floor, gets it to Amos. And the Tigers 2:14 away from their 5th straight conference title. The only question left, because of the 1 game remaining with Memorial, is will it be all Warsaw's, or will they have to share it with the Crimson Chargers?
Something tells me Doug Ogle's making cookies on Saturday.
He likes to make those cowboy cookies to celebrate big Warsaw games. This would certainly qualify.
They weren't looking back door there to score because they had a man open, but right now trying to run clock and doing a good job. This is great training for the tournament coming up too, because you're going to have situations like this.
And Warsaw sectional will be highly competitive with Elkhart Memorial, Northridge. Goshen has shown moments this year. Shoot, Elkhart Central probably has the worst record of any team in that sectional, but they took the Tigers to double overtime in Northside Gym a couple of weeks ago. Groninger hits both free throws. He now has 21. Warsaw lead back up to double digits. Hilliard for 3, and Metzinger the rebound. Rumpel cross court, but Warsaw will spread it out. And the Tigers have that pass knocked away and out of bounds, but will retain possession.
Ryan Bale's gotten a good effort out of his team, and I'll tell you what, being in a hole that deep and coming back and making it a 7-point, 6-point ball game late, good effort. But it took a lot of gas to get that one that close, and Warsaw able to fend them off.
Nolan Groninger About a minute 6 away from a conversation with Bo Hunt.
We did our feature before the ball game, Chuck, where we give 46 picks and said first one to 50 wins.
You were accurate on that. Foul called against Plymouth, and Warsaw will get a chance to shoot 4 free throws, sponsored by R&B Car Company.
Oh, the half dozen games or so left in the season. Certainly a game like this can pinpoint some of the things that Plymouth needs to work on. They'll be better in the weeks to come. And everybody getting ready for the sectional. It's a month away. When did that drawing come out? 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, on the 17th. So we'll do the games next week, and then the sectional draw will be that following Sunday.
Has anybody seen November?
Long, long time ago. Metzinger hits the second free throw. He has 7 points tonight. And Warsaw up by a dozen. Hilliard has it stolen away by Groning. Ahead to Rumpel for 2. Trevor Rumpel now with 11 points.
Came in averaging 9, but he's been improving as the season's gone along.
Reichert goes strong the hole to get 2, but Jake has been held to 6 points tonight, 6 below his average. And Reese is fouled by Filson.
Reichert got off to a good start at 2 baskets in the first quarter, and then looked like Warsaw made some adjustments. Might have been to put a little more attention on Mr. Reichert. Plymouth has those 3 good scorers. And I thought they got good minutes tonight from Dolan, Barron. And I'd say it's a team that has talent. They work well together. They work hard.
And Doug Ogle will clear his bench. He'll put in Keegan Larsh, among others.
We won't get a chance tonight to see Clay Hilliard get to the 1,000-point mark, but he'll be there soon. And certainly congratulations to him. Terrific career here at Plymouth. What do you think else is on that list? Is Scott Skiles going to be on that list?
Scott Skiles would definitely be on that list.
Phil Wendell?
Of 1,000-point scorers here at Plymouth High School.
Steve Phillips from back in the late 60s.
Winkle launches a 3. That's off the mark. The rebound to Larsh. And the Warsaw Tigers improved to 6-0 in NLC play and run their record to 12-4 on the season as they beat the Plymouth Pilgrims for the 5th straight time, 54-41 here at the Rock tonight. Now stick around. We've got our Wagon Wheel Theater postgame show coming up with all our features, including our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game. It all comes your way next on the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
For watching the WHME TV46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
the fans still milling about, as you might expect after a rivalry of this ilk. The 140th meeting between Plymouth and Warsaw goes to the Tigers by a count of 54-41 tonight. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Every time we see them, Warsaw impresses, and tonight was no different.
And we lost our game there for a while. It got to be a blowout, and then all of a sudden Plymouth battled back. They didn't quit. Had some really good qualities about this team, but I really think Warsaw is a team at the beginning of the season. We got to figure out where all the pieces fit. They're not all round pegs and round holes, but they're getting close. It's a good ball club.
And certainly Warsaw knows that it has great direction from its point guard. They got it again tonight. And he is our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game, standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Nolan Groninger. First off, 21 points. It seems like every time you're on TV, you have a fantastic game.
Just kind of, my team needed me to score, so I just tried to get points when I could.
You know, you talk about this rivalry, these two teams. Coming out at halftime, you guys just had a 4-point lead, but then you guys exploded in that second half. What was it you talked about at halftime, or what was it that you guys did?
Coach Ogle said we didn't shoot well in the first half, but we were still up 4. And then third quarter we came out, Wyatt hit a couple threes, and everybody seemed to shoot well, so that helped a lot.
Talk about this rivalry between Warsaw and Plymouth. Just, you know, what are the emotions that come out when you see this game on the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it's one for the community. Everybody's at school like, man, you gotta beat Plymouth. So it feels good just to get one for the community in Warsaw.
Warsaw's now a part of at least 27 championships in the NIC or NLC. Just talk about, that, accomplishment. I know you guys got one more game against Elkhart Memorial. Just talk about what you guys go through with that conference.
It's a hard conference. Everybody's always giving their best, so you never have a down game. And we're really looking forward to Memorial. They got us last year, so we're looking to get them back this year.
Nolan, congratulations. Best luck to you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bo. And now time to look at our electrical workers, Local 153, electrifying play of the game, provided by Mr. Metzinger off the bench tonight as he got loose behind the press.
Yeah, Plymouth left the back door open, and the horse was well out of the barn by the time they reacted. Metzinger goes down and slams it in. I thought, we're sitting here talking about what's going to be the electrifying play. There was about 5 nominees, but that was certainly an electrifying moment for the Warsaw Tigers.
So Warsaw wins it 54-41, and they now have control of their own destiny in the Northern Lakes Conference. Just a February 19th date left with Elkhart Memorial standing between the Tigers and sole possession of the NLC crown for Plymouth. They've got to try to figure out what got exposed tonight and get it fixed in time for the tournament.
A real thrill to be here at Plymouth High School. So many great games we've had in this arena, and we're going to another storied arena next week. We'll be at Hadaway Shack at Adams High School. Looking forward to that.
But before that, we'll make a stop at the Panther Pit in Napanee. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who brought you this one tonight. I don't know if they were dancing to the disco ball in the truck, but the Garden Dean Korsmo was probably moving around in there, along with our usual crack crew. A reminder, college basketball on the radio Saturday night as Nebraska takes on Purdue. Larry Clisby has the call at 8:30 on 103.1 FM. And then Wednesday night in prime time, we show you basketball on the high school level as Tippecanoe Valley, the Red Hot Vikings, go into the Panther Pit to take on Aaron Wolf's Northwood Panthers. You'll see it Wednesday night at 6. Now from my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score, Warsaw 54, Plymouth 41. So long from the banks of the Yellow River.